Determinant have many peculiar properties. Let us discuss them one by one. First property says that when you transpose any matrix, its determinant will not change. Transpose means when you convert the rows into the columns and columns into the rows, the value of transpose will not change. I'll give you example for that. If A is this matrix 1, 3, 2, 5, this is a square matrix 2 by 2. Let us see what is the determinant. I have already discussed for 2 by 2 matrices. It is very simple to calculate the determinant. Just cross multiply and put a negative sign in between. So it comes out to be 5 and minus 6. So answer is minus 1. Now I'll take transpose of this matrix. If I take the transpose, the row will become the column and the column will become the row. Now let us calculate its transpose determinant. It will be 5 again minus 6, so answer will be minus 1. So with this we can conclude that if we transpose the matrix, its determinant is same. Its determinant won't change. Coming to the second property, interchanging two rows or two columns, it will not change the value of the determinant numerically, but the sign of determinant may change. So if I'll take the example of this matrix, with that this point will be more clear. A is given, and now here if we calculate the determinant of A in detail, it comes out to be minus 26 or plus 26. It comes out to be plus 26. So if I will change any two rows which are corresponding rows, just they are together, just they are next to each other. So if I will change any two rows or any two columns, for example, I will replace first row with the second row, and second row will become the first row. So the matrix will look like this, because this row has become the first row and this row has become the second row. Third row, it's at its own place. Now with this, if I'll calculate the determinant, it will be minus 26. So the property says when you are interchanging two rows or any two columns, the value of determinant does not change, but the sign may change, because these two rows, when we calculate the determinant, we start with plus sign here, minus here, plus here, then minus here, then plus. So this, because of this plus minus variation, the value of determinant changes. The value is remain same, only the sign changes. Similar will be the case if we interchange these two rows or we interchange two corresponding columns. The value of determinant will be same, but the sign will of course change. Coming down to third property, if any one row or any one column of the matrix is 0, the determinant will always be 0. So in such cases you need not go in detail and finding out the determinant. If you can see that any one of the row or any one of the column in the matrix is 0, then your determinant will be for sure 0. So if you will calculate the determinant of this matrix, you will be getting a 0, because we can see the second row is with full zeros. Property number 4 says that if one row or column is identical to another row or column, determinant will always be 0. So you can see here in this matrix, first row is exactly like second row. All the elements of two rows are similar. This can be the case with the column also. If this is the case, your determinant will coming out to be 0. Another property that has been hidden into point number 4 is if one row or column is proportional to other row, then also determinant will be 0. Now what is the meaning of proportional? In this example we can see this is the first row and this is the second row. So we can find out that the first row and the second row have certain relations. If we divide the first row by 2, so we are going to get the second row only. Or if we multiply the second row with 2, we will be getting the first row. So it means these two rows are proportional to each other. So in this case also, if you will calculate the determinant, it will be coming out to be 0. Let's see property number 5. this property says that if any one row or any column fully multiplied by a constant lambda, lambda is any constant value, you can assume any value 1, 2, 3, 9, 11. So any one row or column is multiplied by a constant quantity lambda, whole determinant will be multiplied by lambda. So ultimately your determinant will also be multiplied by that constant value. To take an example, this is the matrix A with us, and if we calculate the determinant of this matrix, it comes out to be -4. Now suppose I take lambda to be 3. You can take any constant value, it should be same but for the entire row, and I multiply my first row with 3. So my first row will be 3, 9 and 12. My second row will be same, my third row will be same. So now here I can tell that if I calculate determinant of this matrix, it will be original determinant multiplied by that scalar quantity. So for sure my answer will be coming out to be -12. So the property is very clear. If you multiply any row or any column with a constant value, ultimately your determinant will be multiplied by that constant value. Now property number 6 says that if all the elements of the matrix are multiplied by a constant, the determinant will be multiplied by lambda cube. In the earlier property number 5, you have seen that only one row or a column was multiplied by a constant. Now this is the extension of that property. Instead of multiplying only one row, now if the entire matrix is multiplied by a constant, the determinant will be multiplied by that value cube. Why cube? Because we are taking a 3 by 3 matrix. If it will be a square matrix, then in that case the determinant will be multiplied by lambda square. So what this property says that if I multiply the entire matrix, for example with a constant lambda I assume to be 2, and I multiplied it with 2, so matrix will be this way, and its determinant I need not calculate again. What I can say is 2 was my constant, 2's cube multiplied by earlier matrix determinant. So your determinant will be multiplied by lambda cube. What is lambda? Your constant, and that lambda will be multiplied by 2 cube. So 2 cube will be 8 into -4. So here determinant will be -32. Now the last property says that addition of a constant multiple of another row or column to a row or column leaves the determinant unchanged. If you take the constant that is a multiple of another row or column and you add that into the first or the other row, the determinant is not going to change. Let us take an example for that. If my A, for which I am going to calculate the determinant, that is 1, 2, 3, say 2, 4, 6 and 3, 5, 0. This is the matrix for which we are going to calculate the determinant. If you will calculate the determinant of this will be 0. Now if I will find out a constant, I can see in this column a constant multiple, that is 2. In these 3 it is common. So this 2 is a multiple of these 3. Now if I, from this column I have taken this multiple and I will be adding this multiple into the other column. My first column was, if my new A will be, my first column was 1, 2, 3. I am going to add this multiple into, now my multiple is 2, I am going to add it with the values of that column from which this multiple has been taken. So now my first column will be this, while my second and third column will not change. They will be same. So again I'll repeat, what I have done is I have taken the original column and a constant has been picked up from another column. That constant has been added along with that row or that column from which the constant has been selected. So we have to calculate it like this. So this will be creating a new sort of matrix for us, and if we solve it, we will be getting 5, 10, 15. This will be the new column, and the second column will be same, 2, 4, 6. Third will be same. So if I will calculate determinant of this will be equal to determinant that we have calculated with the original matrix, that is going to be 0. So this was all about the properties of determinant.